Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Just a short video, something good. You may have noticed in Madonna's Madame X tour shows that she was actually taking Polaroids of herself and selling them. Now, some people were being very negative about it and saying that she was cheapening herself, that it was sad to see an icon rolling around the floor, taking Polaroids and begging people for cash and haggling with audience members for cash and badgering them and criticizing them for not paying enough or not having enough money or not being rich. And some people thought it was really tacky, and I sort of thought that way too. I'm like, what is this? Like, I'm like, she must be doing it for some reason. I'm like, is she doing it for charity or something? And I've said in one of my comments, I just hope she gives the money to charity, because otherwise it just seems kind of weird. Now, what I missed was in the first show, apparently she said that she would be giving the money to charity for the photo. Now, I listened to the audio from the first concert and some of the others, and I didn't hear that part, so maybe they just didn't include all the monologues and all the just talking and dialogue, so I missed that part. So I guess a lot of other people did too, because I saw a few comments from people saying that she focused all her attention on the people in the front row, just the rich people, and she was just sort of doing it for them, and it was just a bit exclusive, and some people didn't like it, and like I said, some people thought it looked a bit desperate, and she's like on the edge of the stage, like leaning over, like on her knees, like haggling with people over money and getting them to bid, and all the people up on the floor in that little section in front of the stage, sort of fighting over bidding and that, and I don't know, it just looked a bit, what the fuck? But yes, no, she did it for charity, and she did it for her charity, of course, Raising Malawi, and she made $188,900. So that's quite a lot of money. That's for the first 49 shows. Now, in one New York show, they didn't sell it at all, because she said 2,000 was too little. Although the lowest she sold was one for 500, and the highest she sold was one for 10,000. So I don't know why she didn't sell that one for 2,000, and she must have just been in a bad mood that night. One of the websites who did an article on it actually listed all the prices for all the Polaroids that she sold, and I had a friend who actually bought one who talked about it, and it is a good collectible. I mean, it's part of the concert, it's part of the show, it's part of Madonna's legacy. It's almost like having a costume or a prop from the show, so it's actually quite valuable and quite displayable. I mean, it's a photo, you can just put it in a frame and show people, oh, that's a Madonna Polaroid I paid $4,000 for. It's actually pretty good. I'd love to see a reunion of all the people who bought the Polaroids one day coming together and putting them together like one sort of collage or something for a photo or shoot or something crazy, but whatever. But I worked out, because I was curious, how much each show made, or each tour, each city. So in New York City, she did 15 shows. So she did 16 shows, and she sold 15 Polaroids from 15 of the 16 shows for $38,800. In Chicago, she did 7 shows, and she sold 7 Polaroids for $31,800. In San Francisco, she only did 3 shows, and she sold the 3 Polaroids for $17,000. In Las Vegas, she did 3 shows, and she sold the 3 Polaroids for $13,500. In LA, she did 10 shows, and she sold those 10 Polaroids for $44,300. In Philadelphia, she did 4 shows, and she sold those 4 Polaroids for $14,500. And in Miami, she did 6 shows and sold those 6 Polaroids for a whopping $29,000. So good for her. She made money for charity. Her charity, but she made money for charity. So that's good, because I wrote in my comments when someone was commenting about it that it's just kind of tacky and vulgar. I'm like, well, she must be doing it for charity, or I hope she's doing it for charity, because otherwise it is just a bit weird. So I'm really glad that it was, and it was the whole time, and it was just, I wish she'd mentioned each time she did it, this is for charity. I don't know if she says it. I didn't hear her saying it in any of the haggling, like, this is for charity, come on, this is for charity. I didn't hear anything like that. It just seemed to be all about her, and just, you should buy this, I want your money. It didn't sound very good. It was all for good. It's all for a good cause. So I'm happy to just do a little video on that, just because I thought that was interesting, and I was just kind of relieved, like, yes, it was for charity. Raising Malawi, but still charity. Oh, there you go. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment. Comments are fun.